Hey, what's up, YouTubers? A while ago, I was thinking to create a technology which helps people to enhance their cognitive abilities, such as they can create new models, new toys, or probably new architecture styles, like deconstructive styles in architecture. So I took it easy. A couple of years ago, I've looked into um, a lot of geometries, such as the dodecahedrons or the sacred geometry, to understand what are the limitations of space. But then I found out that space has its own limitations, such as that we don't have a structure of the space. So we talk about things in space, uh, but never about the structure of the space. So what we know today is that things in space just float, right? They don't have a structure where or a medium where they sit on. But this makes it even more difficult because if all, let's say, particles in space don't have a medium to sit in and they're all just floating, it means that space, as we believe, uh, is a vacuum. However, I don't think space is a vacuum. Why? Because if space was a vacuum, then things were very randomly moving around. But in fact, they aren't. How do I know this? Well, for us, or for me myself, when I look into a light with my own eyes, I see something different. When I look at the light, I see a pattern. A pattern which I can really uh, associate with a crystal. So the way you can, let's say, compare it to is the way you take a crystal and you look through it and you see how the light reflects and bounces and scatters, and then you see the result. So this is the way I see the light. So when I look at the sun, I see this. When I look at the star, I see this. So this pattern, or more of this structure of the space, because otherwise light wouldn't uh, reflect and bounce if the space was a vacuum. Um, so the light bounces in my eyes through this particular um, structure. So what is this structure? So at the beginning it was very difficult even for myself to understand it. So I've spent probably between 2010 and 2014 through to analyze it and to sketch it to see why do I see it like this. So back in, I don't remember exactly, I think April 2013, after spending like 48 hours without sleeping, and just working on this particular sketch, I found something that wasn't so difficult to understand, um, and very similar to a lot of structures. Um, so take it, I've took it forward, and I've realized that the structure itself is so common with so many other things, um, and then I've started to decompose it and to reduce it to a number or a series which can show the, let's say, the essence of the structure itself. So after more years of research, I've discovered in 2015 the crystallum reticulatum, as I've called it. And I have one where I've got to be one of the top 100 most innovative, or it got to be one of the top 100 most innovative discoveries in 2015, voted by the UKTI, is the UK Trade and Investment through Innovate UK, which is a UK government body research fund. Okay. After this period, I've raised some funds from friends, family, and other research institutions, and I've created a modular technology, a toy technology, to experiment with. So, after more research, I've derivated a simple or more complex technology which people can test their cognitive abilities. So I've created a focus group with random people which I've met, and I've tested this technology, and I've met with so many different backgrounds, including uh, kids between 5 to 7 years, uh, older kids 7 to 11 years old, and adolescents like 16, 17, but also older people. So I found a pattern in how our cognitive thinking is working. So I'll give you an example. In younger kids, they're very hectic in terms of how they are picking solutions, and they do it to tryouts, but very, very quick tryouts until they succeed finding the result. However, if I take the opposite end, which is older people, they're not very confident in changing or modifying their discoveries. So they tend to lag more on the experimentation side and stick to what they think is true, but in fact it isn't. So, um, because this was a challenge for me too, because uh, I was trying to understand why older people tend to behave like that. I went for another group, focus group. I've looked into, um, let's say, another age group between 25 years old and 35 years old, and things started to confuse me even deeper, because I couldn't assimilate, not even with a 7 years old person, but not even with a 50 or 60 years old person. And as you can see in these videos, they all try probably the same pattern in resolving the puzzle, but they all fail at succeeding. So my understanding was, why are these people still failing at resolving it? And the younger people tend to resolve it quicker. It's because their spatial cognition, I think, actually decreases with time. So the more they think about other things, the less they experience the space which we are in. So if we look at younger people, they tend to see and experience this space, uh, with much more determination than an older person. Um, and I think that's the cause of the uh, delay in finding spatial solutions. So, with this in mind, I think my research um, needs to continue, and if you would like to uh, be part in it, or if you like to test it, um, uh, please support me, because I don't really have funds to continue forward, but I can bring in, or I can continue with your help. If you like the technology, you can order it. If you want to support it or donate it, you can donate to me, and I'll, with your help, obviously, I'll continue the research and make this technology better, or enhance the status of our, or of my discovery. So thanks for watching, and if you like the video, please give it a like. If you disliked it, just go away. But yeah, please subscribe and help me build this product